Time to ride. Not opening for you. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Bomber Bonkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Not enough key energy. Almost there. Wow, wow, wow. This might be the end of everything as we know it. Let's see. That ain't bad. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. Just what you were looking for. There are things out there waiting for you. Stay away from that biohazard. You'll want to wash yourself off for a month. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He'd lie if he claimed it was all good. You changed after your Mooma and Popsy passed, and he understands why you had to leave. The old village being a constant reminder of what happened. He understands history made Lupa Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo understands you still have strong feelings, but urges you to keep them under control. You've witnessed firsthand what it'll lead to.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You are number one.
Even the dark knows you're better than this.
Stick with me. We'll rule the world.
Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Understands why you're bent on finishing the world off. Supposes it's a mercy to make it faster. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seem so centered and so seeking. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside At least for now. He can't leave the underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone. So you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. There are more crates from before the apocalypse left out in the wild. Easy to find if you keep an eye out. You should be able to gather enough scrap to upgrade the Mekton from them. Take this seriously, or it'll take you down. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. That's the leftover you're looking for. You're a long way from the sun. Finding some thick air might be wise soon. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. He made a suction device, so the Mekton can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard-to-get-to areas. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the Jumbo Puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the... It's a little feisty and tough critter, a perfect fit for a live ammunition, if you ask him. Meaner than ever. Maybe it's later than you think. Hard to tell at night. The grease monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. A bit of glow. Let's see. Starting to matter. Ready to take on the world. Your head is still spinning. Bang Shelter 7C should have been stated right there in toxanol lettering. Don't pass out. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. The air's too thin here. Let's see. This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be. Says he's a monster hunter. The best you'll ever see. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Out there with the monsters, it's kill or be killed. Which will it be for you? You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, when it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies. Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Gets why you're thinning the herd so hard, but he wishes you'd leave some monsters for everybody else. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights, and they keep putting up new ones. He's afraid you're just as stubborn as them. But enough of that, right? He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output. Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short. Thinks that it all hangs on the tree of life. When it started to fail, everything changed. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big. There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes. Says you stick to the haunting and shots present themselves later. Moog says you... The rain can't last forever, right? Wait, it's the squip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. Control your destiny, or someone else will. At least being underground keeps you out of the weather. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. Those are the kind of things you need. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Now you're ready to ventilate your foes. Blade streaming, beware. Don't you just love the smell of burning black juice? In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. Nothing beats your own 2 feet. He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the Mekton's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now, otherwise he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. He's sure you remember enough of what he taught you about upcycling to fit some skronky gear to the Mekton on your own. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Wants to know what good you think you can really do in a world this messed up. Thinks it's weird you haven't met Lobo yet. You should hit the blimp station and put that right. Says you should take care. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Understands completely. Still feel dizzy? That means you're still alive. Go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. This is more like it. If anyone can take it, it's you. Winners get to keep moving.